Hi guys, Mike with Fights with Friends here. So apparently, an NFL player, former NFL player, is going to be getting a shot in the UFC here on June 12th on Dana White's Tuesday night contender Greg Hardy, formerly of the Carolina Panthers and Dallas Cowboys, will be getting his shot on Tuesday night contender to get a fight in the UFC. He's going to be fighting a guy that's already 5-1. Brandon Salas. Um, Hardy's had his share of trouble, and that's putting it lightly. 2014, he was arrested on allegations of domestic abuse from his then girlfriend. When police came in, they found a bed of guns. He was sentenced to a 10-game suspension after being found guilty by a judge of domestic abuse. That was later dropped to a 4-game suspension, but at the end of the year, the Carolina Panthers released him to their credit. 2015, the Dallas Cowboys picked him up. He never played quite like he did before, but he was a constant distraction off the field. He's constantly partying, was not producing on the field. And then he had some strange things where he had a very odd interview where he talked about how he would like to have sex with the wives of quarterbacks Tom Brady and Blake Bortles. He continually talked about guns in interviews. Then in 2016, he was arrested in a Dallas suburb on cocaine charges. Is this really the guy that we want in the UFC? After that, of course, even the Cowboys decided not to re-sign this guy. After you look at all the things, Michael Irvin was a coke addict. Everybody knows it. So many issues that the Dallas Cowboy has. They didn't even want anything to do with him. But the UFC decides, hey, they just made this documentary on how shitty MMA fighters are, and there's always bad publicity about us. Why don't we bring this thug into the UFC and see what he can do for us? We got these great role models like Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic, and let's not highlight those guys. Let's highlight the guys like Conor McGregor that's assaulting people on buses, and Colby Cuntington, and that sort of thing. So they're going to bring this thug in to fight on Tuesday Night Contender. I'm not happy about it. I think it's a horrible look for the UFC. The guy was kicked out of the league because he was a criminal. Beat up his girlfriend. He's got a bunch of guns. He was threatening people, talking about guns a lot. Then he was arrested for cocaine. He was partying. He didn't produce on the field. He's 3-0, I guess. He is 3-0 in his first 3 bouts as an amateur. All of them, he got a knockout in under 2 minutes. At 29 years old, I don't know who exactly he's fighting. I do like to see finishes in fights, but all we need is another situation like War Machine to get us back on the bad side of the news, the really bad side of the news. It's not like we're exactly on the good side, especially after all this Conor McGregor crap with the bus and everything. So it kind of seems like, I don't know what the UFC is doing. I don't know what Dana's doing, but it's like no publicity is bad publicity at this point. I don't know if they're trying to go a WWE route. I don't know what they're trying to do. But they have the best mixed martial artists in the world, and they continue to try to turn the UFC into a sideshow. I get they're trying to get their $4 billion back. Whatever they're trying to do. I don't know. This is not the way to do it. You don't bring in criminals into a sport that you worked from 1993 when it came about. But basically since The Ultimate Fighter came in about 2001, 2002, the UFC's worked very, very hard to uphold a pretty good image. There's been a lot of really good guys in the UFC for being a league of fighters. Randy Couture, great reputation. Rick Franklin, teacher, great guy. Forrest Griffin, former police officer, great guy, great image. Kenny Florian, super nice guy. Like I said, Daniel Cormier, Stipe Miocic, super nice people. Cain Velasquez, super nice guy. A lot of these people, and that's not what the UFC wants. It's not sexy. It doesn't sell. So let's bring in, a girlfriend beating, gun toting, coke addict. I hope the guy gets knocked out. I don't think we need any more publicity like this, maybe I'm overreacting. If you're new here, please hit that like button and subscribe so you can get notifications when I make new videos or when we go live. But let me know down in the comments, am I overreacting? Am I going too far? Should the UFC be doing this? Should they be pursuing this fighter who, former NFL player who's been in so much criminal litigation? I think it's a bad decision. I'd like to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, I love you, I respect you, and I'll see your fine asses later.